rehabilitation. In addition, Area 11 water main replacement project, which is on westbound Schoolcraft at Merriman Road, along with Merriman Road heading north to Linden, is a $2.7 million project by Murphy Pipeline contractors. This project started May 4th and will be ongoing till late November. Finally, one of the biggest projects we have that MDOT is doing in the area is the M14 I-96 reconstruction between Newburgh Road and Sheldon Road. This requires traffic to be placed on the south side on the eastbound lanes, 2 lanes each direction, until its completion later this fall. As you can see behind me, the Hines Road Bridge was replaced last year as part of the MDOT $20 million improvement project. We're hopeful that by mid-June, this segment of roadway will be opened up for motorists to enjoy. Remember, please slow down so that everyone can go home at night, and appreciate your patience as we look forward to the future rehabilitation of our new roads and traffic signal modernizations in the city of Livonia. If you have any further questions, please contact the engineering department at area code 734-466-2655, and have a safe summer.
Hi, this is Mayor Maureen Miller-Brosnan here, and I'm with Bill Joyner. You know, Livonia is proud to be part of America's 250th anniversary celebration with our Livonia Historical Society, and we invite you to join us on Wednesday, July the 8th at Livonia City Hall for an evening of history and community and hometown pride.
And as America all across the country is celebrating our 250th, Livonia is no different. We've got a picnic at 5:30. We have entertainment from 5:30 to 7. We have over 50 people dressed up in attire from the 1770s. This is a family outing, Mayor. We want people to come together in a show of unity. Livonia is celebrating the 250th anniversary.
Super, super exciting, Bill. This is going to really, like you say, be a chance for us to not just come together, but a chance for us to reflect on our nation's journey as we celebrate the values that continue to bring us together as a community, as neighborhoods, as friends, as families. So bring your family, bring your friends, right? Bring your lawn chairs, and most of all, bring your Livonia spirit.
And dress up to see the mayor dressed up in her 1776 attire.
It's going to be fun. So we want to thank a lot of the organizations that have helped us along the way to make this event possible. We're going to be thanking our Livonia Spree Committee. They're a big part of this, the Rotary AM and the PM group, Alpha USA, the Livonia Lions, the Livonia Civic Chorus, and our Symphony Brass Quintet. So we hope that we get a chance to see you there, celebrating America's 250th birthday, Livonia. Come on in and join us. This is going to be an extra special event, Bill. Thanks for helping bring it.
I look forward to it.
It'll be fun.
Hi, Livonia. I'm the Livonia City Clerk, Lori Miller. No matter how you choose to vote, having a plan makes the process simple and stress-free. Your vote plays a meaningful role in Livonia's future. By preparing before Election Day, checking your polling location, choosing how you want to vote, and understanding the process, having a voting plan can ensure a smooth and confident voting experience. Being prepared with a plan makes sure you know when, where, and how you intend to vote. It reduces the chance of last-minute issues like long lines, schedule conflicts, or uncertainty about your polling location. Here's a quick guide to your voting options and what to expect. Absentee voting. If you prefer to vote from home, absentee voting is a convenient option available to all registered voters. To get started, simply submit an absentee ballot application through the clerk's office. Once your ballot arrives, you can complete it at your convenience and return it by mail, in person, or using a secure drop box. They are located throughout the community, one in front of City Hall and one also inside the lobby of City Hall. If you have already joined our permanent ballot list, your ballot will automatically be mailed to you. If you would like to join Livonia's application list, To be mailed an application before each election, please indicate so on your completed application form. Just remember, follow all instructions carefully. Sign the outside of your ballot envelope and return your ballot before the polls close on Election Day. Absentee voting is secure, flexible, and a great way to vote on your schedule. If you would rather vote in person before Election Day, early voting might be right for you. Early voting. Early voting allows you to cast your ballot in person ahead of Election Day at the designated early voting location. Livonia uses a shared early voting site located here at City Hall where the process works just like it would on Election Day. You will check in, complete your ballot, and securely submit it here on site. Early voting hours are 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., 9 consecutive days before all state and federal elections. Early voting ends at 5:30 p.m. the Sunday immediately preceding Election Day. Accessible voting equipment is also available to ensure every voter can participate independently and privately. Your ballot remains private, secure, and protected, and once submitted, it cannot be traced back to you. Early voting is a great option if you want flexibility and the experience of voting in person without waiting until Election Day. Of course, many residents still choose to vote on Election Day itself. Voting on Election Day is a familiar and reliable option for many. The polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. Before heading out, be sure to check your voter information card to confirm your precinct and polling location. Once you arrive, you will be checked in, receive your ballot, and cast your vote using a secure tabulator. Accessible voting equipment is also available to ensure that every voter can participate independently and privately. No matter when you vote, the process is designed to be safe, secure, and straightforward. For the most accurate and up-to-date information on Election Day, the clerk's office is your trusted source. You may notice some updates to precincts and polling locations in recent years. Precinct consolidation. Livonia has streamlined its voting precincts to make the process more efficient for voters and staff. Precinct numbers and some polling locations may have changed, so it is important to review your voter information card and know where to go before Election Day. You may also visit the interactive precinct map at votelivonia.org. In addition, thanks to a careful review of voter trends, participation, and polling location accessibility, precinct consolidation carried out prior to the 2025 election cycle resulted in significant cost savings for the city. If you vote absentee or early, your process remains the same. These updates are designed to create smoother, more consistent voting experience throughout the city based on voter participation. And once voting is complete, you may start to see the results reported. Unofficial versus final results. After the polls close on Election Day, results are released and updated as they come in from the precincts. These results are accurate, but they are not final. These initial numbers are considered unofficial while election materials continue to be counted, such as absentee ballots at our counting boards, and while election officials complete the necessary processes to ensure accuracy to account for every ballot. Over the next several days, Wayne County conducts the canvass of the election. This is a detailed review to ensure that every eligible vote is included and all ballots are counted correctly. During the canvass, officials verify precinct totals, review absentee and provisional ballots, and make sure all records match before finalizing results. This process takes time because accuracy is the priority. Once that process is complete, results are certified and become official. This is part of the system designed to ensure transparency, accuracy, and trust in every election. Thank you for taking the time to learn about your voting options. No matter which option works best for you, absentee, early, or on election day, your vote matters. We are committed to making the process simple, secure, and accessible. If you need guidance or have questions, please contact the clerk's office. We are here to help. And remember, you can always find reliable information at votelivonia.org. Thank you for being an engaged member of our community. Your participation makes a difference.
Do you have what it takes to serve, protect, and leave a lasting impact on your community? At the Livonia Police Department, we don't just wear the badge, we embody it. We're more than officers, we're leaders, guardians, and the heartbeat of the community we serve. Every day we build trust, forge connections, and stand as the shield between chaos and order. Whether we're leading community events, mentoring the next generation through school programs, or partnering with local leaders, our mission is clear. Keep Livonia safe, united, and thriving. We don't settle for mediocrity, we demand excellence. With cutting-edge training and dynamic career paths, we prepare you to take on any challenge. From elite units like SWAT, Mobile Field Force, Honor Guard, hostage negotiators, and K-9, to advancing as a detective or serving on specialized task force, the Livonia Police Department is where ambition meets opportunity. Our officers are guardians, trained to protect the public and navigate the toughest situations, and when the public needs protection, we stand as warriors. Join a department that invests in your future. We offer top-tier benefits, six-figure earning potential with bonuses and overtime, and a 12-hour shift schedule for unmatched flexibility. And we'll help you rise even higher with free college tuition all the way up to and including a master's degree. With a rock-solid pension plan and endless opportunities for growth, the Livonia Police Department offers more than a career, it's a legacy. At the Livonia Police Department, this isn't just a job, it's a call to action. It's about protecting what matters, building a future, and being part of something greater than yourself. Are you ready to rise to the challenge? Join the Livonia Police Department today. Visit livoniapd.com to start your journey.
If you have turned on your tap recently and have noticed your water is discolored, do not panic. This can happen when sediment like iron or manganese is stirred up, often due to a nearby water main break or hydrant usage. While it may look unusual, the water is safe to use. If you are concerned, you may boil it for 10 minutes. Just avoid running hot water or washing clothes until it clears, as staining can occur. Once repairs are complete, clearing your water can be simple. Run cold water from the faucet closest to your water meter for about 30 seconds. If it is still discolored, wait about another 30 minutes to an hour and try this process again. Before using other faucets, let them run briefly to flush out any remaining sediment. When a water main break is confirmed, the city notifies nearby residents and businesses with door hangers or in-person notifications. Most repairs are completed within 3 to 6 hours, and crews work to keep water safe during and after repairs. If you notice bubbling water, low pressure, or discoloration, please report it right away through See-Click Fix or by contacting the Livonia Department of Public Works. Thank you for your patience, Livonia, while our crews are hard at work.
The celebration of America's 250th birthday continues right here at Rotary Park. Hello, Livonia. This is Mayor Maureen Miller-Brosnan, and after joining us at Livonia City Hall on July 8th at 5:30 p.m. for our community celebration, we invite you to keep the party going. And then on Saturday, July the 11th, from 5 to 9, head on over to Rotary Park for the Livonia Parks and Recreation America's 250th birthday party. This is a free event, and it is filled with family fun, live entertainment. You're going to find food trucks and activities for all ages. Kids can enjoy face painting, bounce houses, and a special performance by Beverly, the music lady, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. And then from 7 to 9 p.m., Cast Iron Cornbread is going to provide live music before the evening concludes with a free outdoor showing of the classic film 1776. It is a great opportunity to come together with friends and family and neighbors as we celebrate our nation's history and the community that makes Livonia special. You can see details for both the July 8th celebration and at City Hall and the July 11th event here at Rotary Park on Facebook or by visiting our community calendar. We really hope to see you at both of these celebrations as Livonia joins communities all across our country in honoring America's 250th birthday.
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
For the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Council Vice President Patrick Brockway.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the 2043rd regular meeting of Livonia City Council. This is a voting meeting. Minutes of this meeting will be approved at the next regular meeting scheduled to be held on Monday, July 13th. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Vice President Brockway.
Here.
Councilmember McCullough.
Here.
Councilmember McDonald.
Here.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Here.
Councilmember Persicone.
Here.
President Reed.
Here. We have 6 members present. Councilwoman Tashnik is in Alaska. All right, I will now entertain a motion for the minutes from the regular meeting of the City Council held on June 1st, 2026.
So move. Second.
Motion by McCullough, support by Brockway. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and the minutes pass 6-0. We will now move on to audience communication. The council has set aside 30 minutes for audience communication for items that are not on the agenda. You will have 3 minutes. You can come on down to... No, we just line up right at the podiums. Yep. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll try. My name is May Saba, and I'm a resident, of course, in Livonia. And I first want to thank you for all what you do for the city. And I have a problem with Easy Fiber. The other day, someone knocks at my door and say, I'm from Easy Fiber. We're going to start working on the public side of my sidewalk that belongs to the city and myself. And they said, oh, we're going to start digging there and so forth. I said, who gave you permission? They said the city of Livonia. You can ask them. So I was really bummed about that because they're going to make, I don't want their service, I don't want them to make holes even in the public side. So I called the city, I spoke to the engineer, she said, oh, we only give permits and we don't do anything else, if I remember correctly. And then it's up to the vendor, whoever it is. But that's a problem, because if I didn't call or I didn't answer the door, they wouldn't have told me, they would have dug everything outside. And I was reading so many complaints about them and how they damaged the property. And then I called, the engineer told me somebody in the state. I called the state, they told me no. Called the FTC, I filed a complaint with the FTC. Even the company, the guy who gave me this, doesn't have the number, the correct address for the company, nothing of that sort, and only like his number. And then they also referred me to call the Attorney General in Michigan. So I'm going to do that, but first I need the address of the company so I can file the complaint online. This is not acceptable in my book, and I don't want them to be digging in my, I don't need their service, I don't want them to digging. And I think there should be a mechanism, a process for you, the city, to tell the residents that something like this is going to happen in the city. It shouldn't be, and nowadays you don't open doors, you don't do this for safety measures. So we have to be very careful, and we have to have a process in place for better communication with us, the residents. So that's my major one, but I have others, but it's okay.
Thank you. Mr. Zlinczyk, our engineer, ma'am, Mr. Zlinczyk, right here, right next to you, he can help you out.
Just to the chair, Council President, just real quick, did she receive a notification, a pamphlet from Easy Fiber? One of the first requirements as part of a permit is to make sure that they give pamphlets out to each resident to ensure that they're going to be working in the area. They went through the city clerk's office to get a Metro Act permit, which they are allowed to do, obviously telecommunications in the city of Livonia within our right-of-way or easements, which we give approval. Unfortunately, we give them a permit to do that work as some are aerial, some are underground. But they should have received a pamphlet to describe the fact that they are doing work in the area. If they're not, make sure they call us and let us know, because that way we can have a serious talk with Easy Fiber. The second thing, if there's concerns, then you call the Michigan Public Service Commission to have a complaint against Easy Fiber in the future, along with, again, the Attorney General, whatever. But I'd be happy to have her call the engineering department, and we can provide Easy Fiber's address. You probably go online or Google it, and I think it's in Texas, but we can provide the exact address for Easy Fiber. Again, we can't disallow a permit unless it's not within our right-of-way easements. But unfortunately, it sounds like they may not got a notification. Sometimes they blow off the door, or they put it securely on the door hanger. So if there's an issue, please contact the engineering department for further information, but feel free to file a complaint against Michigan Public Service Commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then I'll call the office.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Mila Pershina. I am a Northville resident, but I'm here on the behalf of the local Livonia business.
Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, City Council President, members of Council. I'm a founder and a president of MP Global Foundation. We focus on life skill education for children. And I'm here tonight to share the story of family. It's about resilience, about community, about upcoming opportunity for Livonia people in the city to rally behind its own. Many of you may know James Gray, the owner of Impact Mentoring Jiu-Jitsu right here on Schoolcraft Road. For years, he's dedicated his life to teaching Livonia's youth and kids discipline, respect, and resilience through martial arts. Recently, James and his family have been hit with an extraordinary wave of challenges, and following severe automotive accident, James suffered injuries that severely impacted his ability to teach and run his academy. At this time, he and his family, wife, raising 6 children, they are homeschooled, 2 are with special needs, and 2 daughters recently diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. when the community leader like this hits a hard times, it's, I think, our responsibility to lift them up. And that is why MP Global Foundation is hosting a Punch for a Purpose, a community-free, fun family day event, a fundraiser on Saturday, July 11th from 1 to raise funds for this amazing family. And it's right at Impact Mentoring. So it's going to be a massive celebration of community featuring interactive martial arts, face painting, balloons, bounce houses, food trucks. Admission, again, is entirely free, but we are raising funds to cover families' not just medical expenses, but also purchasing the new safety mats for his academy and recovering or possibly purchasing a new vehicle for a family as well. We want to make this a big event, and therefore we need also a grateful for Livonia City help. We hope to reach out to you and see if you can, through neighborhood newsletters, social platform, actually reach out to neighbors. We are looking for sponsors, food trucks, for anyone who can support the local businesses, or maybe Livonia City can support it anyway. It's possible. Again, the business is Impact Mentoring Jiu-Jitsu Studio. It's right on Schoolfront Road, located in Livonia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 2 minutes, or 3 minutes.
Is the clock working?
Yep.
Okay.
It's very light, though.
Oh, yeah, because I couldn't see it when
I'm
she
not
was
sure
talking.
why. Yeah, but it is working.
Oh, man, okay. I'm not here to litigate the Spree fiasco, but I just wanted to publicly thank everybody that reached out to me from all over the country. I got calls, emails, over 54,000 views on my reel. And some of the folks said, hey, we'll see you at Music from the Heart. No, I got canned from Music from the Heart, too. So that's not happening. But that's not why I'm here. I believe the administration is running a highly controlled marketing campaign ahead of the August 4th public safety millage. And it appears public resources are being used to help carry it out. The mayor and police chief are hosting an exclusive, according to this email, invitation-only dinner to promote their narrative to a hand-picked audience. What makes this especially troubling is how the event is being funded. We are told the dinner is being paid for through a community engagement grant. Let's be clear about what that means. Community engagement grants are funded with public dollars and are intended to support transparent, accessible outreach that benefits the entire community. Turning those funds into a catering budget for a closed-door, invitation-only event is a complete end run-around taxpayer accountability. It violates the spirit of public funding and raises serious questions about priorities and transparency. Who will be attending this dinner? Participants and graduates of the Livonia Citizens Police Academy. Residents are told this program exists to foster understanding, build trust, and strengthen relationship between law enforcement and the community. Those are worthy goals. But trust is not built through carefully managed messaging. Trust is built through accountability, and accountability only survives when it is exposed to scrutiny, criticism, and open debate. By screening out critics and limiting participation to a select audience, the administration has transformed what should be a public engagement effort into a curated public relations campaign. While everyday residents are facing rising costs, a chosen group of vetted participants is treated to a private dinner, given a sanitized insider perspective, and then sent back into the community as enthusiastic advocates for department priorities, budget requests, and ballot measures. This is not civic education. It is a tax-funded echo chamber designed to generate political leverage. If the police department policies are sound, they should be able to withstand tough questions from skeptics. If the administration's millage proposal is truly necessary, it should be debated openly before all residents, not marketed through a filtered ambassador program designed to amplify one side of the discussion. Real transparency invites dissent. It does not avoid it. When public dollars are used to fund private messaging opportunities for carefully selected audiences, taxpayers have every right to ask whether they are paying for community engagement or political advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. Yep, you're up. Yep. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
I won't need the clock.
Okay.
Robert Malkowski, 16130 Edgewood Drive. This is the first meeting I've been to, so I don't know if this has been addressed or not. but I'm not too happy about there's a certain flag that is on Middle Belt Road, just south of Linden Road and north of 96. My concerns are for the kids that have to drive by there with their parents, and they're asking their parents, I'm sure you guys all know what the flag is. So what can be done about it, if anything? I've gone to the mayor's office twice and talked to an associate of the mayor's and saying that they have every right to fly that flag, even though it can be seen in public. So what can be done?
If we choose to respond, we will during council
Oh, I'm
comments.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like I said, first meeting, so I don't know.
It's okay. We know what flag you're talking about.
I'm sure everybody does. But it's just discouraging that there's umpteen thousand cars that are going by there and that sign is, or that flag is still there. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Christopher Martin, Great State of Michigan. The last council meeting, Martha spoke briefly about the budget increasing from 60 to 66%, and that was for police and fire. And I remember when it was 60%. She said that people are unaware that they think that it can just come out of the budget, the police and fire, and that the millage isn't really needed. Well, I'm one of those that think that way, because I'm going to vote the millage down for the police and fire based on the fact that when this general fund went from 60 to 66%, there wasn't one individual that stood over there that worked for the city that didn't get whatever they wanted when they asked for council approval of, whether it be a dump truck or a bulldozer or whatever it might be, an extra this or that. So I'm going to vote that down, because that's the only way in my mind that the council will be accountable to some degree to reject some of these things that are asked for, that come over by directors and various city employees. Next thing I'm going to talk about is, and I mentioned this before, but it really is worth going and looking at, and that's the pavilion over at Rotary Park. That standing seam roof that was put up there is just very poorly done. And I'm an advocate of steel roofs as compared to, in certain situations, as compared to asphalt, fiberglass, or especially wooden cedar shakes. So from the individual who put that up, okay, I don't think they really knew what they were doing. They could have looked on the computer and looked and seen how to install a standing seam roof. A couple meetings ago, John Pastor was very proud of the fact that not only was he a residential builder, I'm looking at the time.
No, I'm just making sure it's working.
Yeah,
It's my
well,
first time doing
I'll
it.
let you know when it stops. So John was very proud of the fact that not only was he a residential builder, but he was a commercial builder. Now, there's no way that John would have paid for that on his own over there if that was the work that he was given by somebody. And we shouldn't pay for that either.
That is time. Thank you, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, Denise Micah, Livonia. I too am concerned about the June 16th event at St. Mary's. This is almost like a deja vu of what happened last year with vote no against the millage. I'm all for police and fire, but using this grant, and if they serve alcohol, grant money should not be used for alcohol either. I don't know if people have thought this through, but I've seen the correspondence, and I think it's just suspect how they're going about doing this, and I think it's not being transparent, And it's just another tactic by the administration to circumvent some of the rules. And people are watching. I mean, we were scrutinized, vote no. Last year, people complained about our finances and everything, and we had gotten guidance from the county and everything, but got different information. But we will be looking at this because this, I don't think, is a good thing to do, and it just looks suspect. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Greg Ralco, Golf Ridge Villa. It was funny what you just said. Somebody just said when that gentleman, 2 gentlemen ago, spoke, that if someone chooses to bring up the topic during discussion, it won't be brought up. I don't remember this council ever bringing up a topic after it's been mentioned by someone in the audience communication. And we would like that. We would like it because we'd like to see the open exchange between you council members and where you stand on issues and how you defend what you're standing on. I came a couple months ago and I asked a simple question. Why is the city rigorously responding to and defending their position on the appeals that have been filed by the residents against the 8 Mile and Newburgh corner? As I reminded everybody here, the city council voted 5-2 no against rezoning that corner in January of 2025. I spoke to Carter before the ZBA meeting, and I asked Carter what I didn't know anything about the ZBA, and he said, "Don't worry about the ZBA, quote unquote. They never go against what the city council rules on." And yet they did, and I think their vote was 6-1, if I'm not mistaken. And they did it under obviously dubious circumstances. So then when the city or the residents file an appeal, why don't you stand up for what it is that you voted for or voted against? We still have 5 votes against that corner. So who's telling Carter, when Carter was here, that he should rigorously defend the actions essentially of the ZBA in that appellate court or that appellate matter? All the city had to do is just say, we're not going to defend that. We're going to stand by what our city council did and said, and there would have been a judgment rendered in favor of the residents. But that didn't happen. So those matters, as we all know, are in appeal, going to appeal. There was not defensible actions on the ZBA. Everybody knows it, and they went against what you had decided when you didn't want to rezone that property. So I would like for you to discuss that in front of us. Somebody bring it up and talk about it. And where do you stand? Because it's wrong and you know it.
That is time. Any other audience communication? Okay, we will jump right into council comments. I just want to give an update on the agenda. Item number 15, the Finance and Budget report, or Finance and Budget Committee report. We're going to push that to the July meeting because Councilwoman Tashnik wants to give that report. So item number 15 is removed from the agenda. Any council? Ms. Budzinski?
In reference to public comments that was made, if the council president would mind, through the chair to the city attorney, could you talk about flags on private property, and are they protected by the First Amendment, or what is the situation surrounding that?
Yeah, 2 prongs. Generally speaking, the First Amendment applies even when we don't like the message. It doesn't just only apply to messages we like. The Supreme Court has made it clear that we can only regulate time, place, and manner of speech. We cannot regulate its content. When the first complaint came to the city, Inspection brought it to my attention. I asked inspection, is there anything wrong with the manner in which this is mounted? Space, location, and all that. We can't discuss the content, but they've reported to me that there is, in terms of its location and place and manner, it's fine. The only objection people have is to its content, and the city of Livonia, as an arm of the government, is prohibited by the First Amendment of the United States to regulate against content.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then just a couple of event notices. One, Schoolcraft College is having an Experience Schoolcraft open house event on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It's a really cool event that starts at the Vista Tech Center. There'll be interactive displays, 20-minute presentations for various areas of study, manufacturing, high school dual enrollment, financial aid, career services, transfer options, guided tours, hands-on simulations at the various labs, walking tours. So just if you are thinking about going back to school, if you have a young person in your life who's thinking about it, it's a great opportunity to see the campus and learn about the services that are offered there. Also at Schoolcraft College on Saturday is the annual Pride event that they host from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's on the main campus. And then Wilson Barn has Farmers Market opening day on Saturday. Greenleaf Commission is also hosting its native plant sale at the Farmers Market from 9 to 2. So lots happening in Livonia as usual.
Thank you. Anything? Okay. Anything over here? Mr. McCullough?
Thank you. I recently made a post about some of the deficiencies at the rec center. I want to tell everybody that did follow that post that there has been a lot of history to that, and I do want to apologize for anybody that does currently have a membership. We did spend a lot of money, and I'm actively still looking to get in response on any of the condition updates. I recently rejoined, we've been members, but I recently started going in the last 3 weeks because I decided to accept a position to play ball hockey in Prague, which I'm probably going to break the rest of my body, but that is fine. And it's not the best thing when you walk in. It really isn't, especially about the money we put in there. I will tell you this on the other side of things, that the building and a lot of the amenities that, if you haven't seen them, they're beautiful. It's just these little things that keep nagging need to be addressed. And so I wanted to put a little bit context behind that post because a lot of people only see one side of it. And I wish professionally to show the rest of the iceberg, but I won't. But I'm hoping now that things will get fixed over there because membership costs money and it is an amenity to our city. And it's a place really that is incredible. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, go tour it. It's just know that we got to do better on some of the broken windows there. So thank you for the time just to explain a little bit more on my rationale on that. And hopefully those things will get fixed and everybody can enjoy the rec center. We know problems are going to arise, but some of them are chronic problems that have lasted upwards of 5 years. So that's why I made the case. Thanks.
Ms. McDonald, do you have anything?
No, not today.
All right, so we will move right into our consent agenda. Items 1 through 12 on the consent agenda will be voted on as one item. These items were previously discussed at the study meeting that took place on June 1st, 2026, and determined to be non-controversial. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Persicone, support by McCullough. Any comments from the audience? Good evening, sir. Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. This is in reference to number 11. It's your appointment, Council President Daniel Steele, to the ZBA. My suggestion before this individual was even discussed a couple of meetings ago was to ask Lucas McGrail to see if he had an interest, and that's because he ran for council a number of years ago with myself and Steve King. He's an architect, has a builder's license, and he's a building inspector for the city of Detroit. That guy would have fit in a lot better than the vast majority of people that have sat there for years. And so, as I mentioned the first time around on this, I don't know if he was even interested in the job, but I definitely would have offered him a job. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and the consent agenda passes 6-0. Item number 13, this is an update. This is Senior Citizens, Families, and Environment Committee meeting of May 20th, 2026 for the subject matter of urban environmental concerns and the subject matter of senior citizen needs and construction of the new Newburgh senior housing. Ms. McDonald.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to give an update on the committee meeting that we had back on May 20th. First off, our Senior Citizens, Families, and Environment Committee, this meeting was held on May 20th, 2026, here in the auditorium. Members that were present were myself, Carrie Budzinski, Vice Chair, and Patrick Brockway, member. Nobody was absent. Council or city officials present. Council member Brandon McCullough, Eric Goldstein, City Attorney, Madison Bergerdnes, Housing Director, Erica Smith, Government Affairs Director. Anyway, we had a discussion. First item was the urban environmental concerns, and the committee meeting commenced at 7 p.m. And a lot of items were discussed, and several audience members asked questions regarding environmental concerns. A discussion took place regarding Racer Trust and Ford Motor Transmission Plant's environmental issues, and Councilmember Budzinski offered to have Law Department to draft a resolution for subject matter of both Racer Trust and Ford Motor Company to go to the Senior Citizens, Families, and Environmental Committee. Councilmember McCullough asked City Attorney Eric Goldstein for updates on resolutions requested by Council. And the committee recommends that the Law Department to draft a resolution putting the subject matter of Racer Trust in the Senior Citizens, Families, and Environmental Committee, and for the Law Department to draft a resolution putting the subject matter of Ford Motor Transmission Plant in Senior Citizens, Families, and Environmental Committee. That item will remain in committee and is to be put on today's agenda. Second item was the discussion on the Newburgh senior housing, which is currently called Golden Elks. And Madison Housing Director gave an update regarding Golden Oaks housing, noting that the following information. The cost of the project is approximately $27 million, and which will be funded through state and federal funds. It will have approximately 100 units. Currently in financing and design phase, which will take approximately about a year to complete. Construction phase, 2 years to complete, totaling 3 years for total project completion. The residents at Newburgh Village have been notified of the project and the timeline. A resident commented that residents of Silver Village and Newburgh Village do not have trash carts and leave trash outside on pickup for pickup in bags on the curb, suggesting that a shared bin would be shared within for the residents. More affordable housing was discussed, with $27 million needed to fund Golden Oaks project. Councilmember McCullough asked about the status of the funding for the project. He also asked about funding overages and options for contingency funding. And Councilmember Budzinski explained that the Housing Department is a unique and separate entity and not directly part of the city. She asked the City Attorney for an explanation on how the Housing Commission is managed. City Attorney Goldstein further clarified specifics laid out in the statute of the state of Michigan regarding housing program and housing commissions, also stating the Housing Department is not required to go to council for spending funds. Vice President Brockway asked about contact information for residents and that information, they could reach out to Madison, and that they could reach her at 734-421-6450, extension 4, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Councilmember McDonald asked about the Golden Oaks property needing tree removal cleanup. Madison indicated that there were no plans currently, but should look into it. Residents also shared examples of the following: detriment to the residents by taking down the trees, property was left a mess by a contractor, poor treatment of the residents at Newburgh Village, inability to attend housing commission meetings, difficulty in finding the agendas, and no oversight on the housing commission. There's several items, of course. If you'd like me to complete them, I can. If not, all this information is on the City Council web page under our agendas. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Budzinski?
Just as clarification, I think out of committee, it was a matter of I would be able to refer Racer Trust and the Ford Transmission Plant to Senior Citizens, Family and Environment Committee, so it could be discussed further. I'm happy to put that motion forward.
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by McCullough. Any further comments on that one? Any comments from the audience?
Thank you.
This is just on the motion she just made to put the Razor Trust into that committee. So you're not commenting on that one?
No, I wanted to make a comment on the report.
Okay, we're going to vote on this motion first, and then we'll get to the audience. Thank you. Any comments from the audience on the motion to put the Racer Trust into the Senior Citizens and Family Committee? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. So that will be put into that committee. Anything further, Ms. Budzinski?
No, that was all. Thank you.
Okay. Any comments from the audience on Ms. McDonald's report out? Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Denise Micah, Livonia. I attended that meeting, and I'd like to just highlight a few things that we went to the budget meeting last week, and there was $1.8 million coming to that was in the budget to Silver Village. So that was in the general fund. Why is the statement that they're totally separate? I still think we need oversight. They're using state and federal money. We should be able to see what's going on there. We don't know if they're using competitive bidding. We know PRDA is not. I went to that meeting last week, so we're concerned about that. And also, how is the Housing Commission paying for the new bathroom, the ADA bathroom at the library, which is kind of far away from senior housing. So that's where all these things just don't make sense. And I'd like council to really look at that closely, because it doesn't add up. So if it's in the budget, how come they're not separate then? Some funding is, I get that, but some of it isn't. So we can't say it's 100%. And that's what we've been led to believe. But there's no transparency. And I've been to many housing meetings. And by the way, next Tuesday night, the Housing Commission meeting is at 6:30 at Newburgh Village. It's been moved because of spree, because that road will be closed because of spree next week. So I invite anybody to come and see for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else on this topic? Mr. Brockway?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, that's my time.
Your time's up. Okay.
All right. No, just in regards to the topic that was brought up for the trash bins located in Silver Village. We did get a response when we asked about trash pickup in that area from the housing director and from our government affairs director. Residents at Silver Village have multiple options for refuse. They have both curbside trash pickup and a dumpster. Currently, our lease does not permit the storage of garbage cans on residents' front porch areas. We have discussed the option of having a trash cart with several residents, and none of them were interested. in that route, as the current option is easier for them to manage. There was a question that was brought up regarding, rat bait stations. Regarding the bait stations that were mentioned, these are simply for preventative maintenance. We take pest control seriously, and we wanted to make sure we're doing all we can to make sure residents are able to peacefully enjoy their unit. So that was a response from the housing director for the one inquiry that was brought up during that committee meeting.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Budzinski?
Yes, I just wanted to comment, our libraries obviously are important to me, and the situation going on there. CDBG funding generally, those are community development block grants that can be used for community projects. So that's a bucket of federal funding that comes to the city of Livonia, and it can be used for identified projects that meet certain criteria. So last year's funding was determined to be used for ADA compliant bathrooms at the Civic Center Library. Hopefully this year it'll be used for a new playground at Hillcrest Park in the northeast side of town. So those funds are community block grants. They're not tied to senior needs, just as a point of clarification.
Thank you. Ms. Persicone?
Thank you, Madam President. And a couple other things just to follow up on Ms. Budzinski. With respect to the CDBG funds, that's a kind of, I'm going to just use the word subset. The Livonia Housing Commission oversees Live and Go, CDBG Grant Fund program, that overall program, which we receive roughly $900,000 from the federal government. With respect to, there's a budget that's created that's reviewed at commission meetings. The financials are presented monthly at those meetings. So if anyone is curious about the monies that are being spent, that is all available online. And they do have the budget and the financials every month for McNamara, which is a separate fund. They have the enterprise fund for the city housing units, so Newburgh and Silver. Those financials are available, and also with CDBG grant funds, and they're all separate funds. We can't commingle monies, or I should say the Housing Commission cannot commingle. I said we, I was on the Housing Commission, but the funds cannot be commingled, and they do a very thorough job of accounting, and it's all available to be viewed. It is a very complex budgeting process because it involves federal money, state money, grant money, not grant money. So it's not simple to explain. I'm sure I'm just giving this as an oversight, but just to give people more information on it. So I would encourage you to go. The information's there, but just to kind of add on to that.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from council? One last comment on this. You have 2 minutes, please.
Yeah. Patrick talked about the recycling bin and the residents. I talked to the residents as well, and nobody wants a 90-gallon recycling bin. I don't even have a 90-gallon. Those things are awful. The majority of the city doesn't want them. So what I'm suggesting is you plan for this at the next development. You build it in with landscaping. You plan ahead where these barrels can go, where they can be hidden. You have one per building, and you use 64-gallon ones. You don't want a 90-gallon one. There's a way to do it. And if you come by my house, I can show you exactly how I did it and how it works. But to just say, no, we're not going to do this and keep throwing trash bags out and letting all the vermin go. And as far as the, you're right, very complicated, the funding, unbelievably complicated. That's why transparency is so important, because it's so complicated. And if you go to those meetings, you have no clue what's going on. They don't say anything. Thank you.
Madam President, Jim Biggett, Livonia, Michigan. I'm on the website for the Housing Commission. I have a password to the website. I can't get into it because it's all blocked. So the Housing Commission is the only website links that are blocked on the Livonia homepage. I don't know why, but they are. So as unfortunately people say things are available, of all the places on the Livonia website, this is the only one that is constantly unavailable to people to see. I don't know why that is. I don't understand why that is. I would love to know what the secrecy is in the Housing Commission. I understand it must be, state secrets are in there. They're buried in there. Stuff must be hidden in there that people should not see, because their eyes would burn. There's got to be reasons why, why it says login failed because number of sessions failed. Username, public minutes. I put my name in, it doesn't work in there. I'm signed into the website. I don't get it. I just don't understand. This is the only spot in Livonia where I can't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 14, Economic Development Strategic Planning and Technology Committee meeting of June 3rd, 2026. Item A, the subject matter of data centers and attendant zoning related issues, and item B, the subject matter of limiting the number of gas stations and car washes within the city. Ms. Budzinski.
Hi, thank you. As noted, this meeting was held on June 3rd. Committee members were present, myself, Vice President Brockway, Councilwoman Eileen McDonnell, and also Council President Reed, City Attorney Goldstein, Assistant City Attorney Sidney Rogers, Planning Director Mark Termina, and Government Affairs Director Erica Smith. This is a slightly lengthy summary, so again, it is in Civic Clerk. I'm going to just kind of give a high-level overview so folks understand that where we're at on this. At our meeting in February, Council had directed the law department to look at doing a moratorium for both data centers and car washes. In that time, City Attorney Goldstein investigated moratoriums and how they stood up against legal challenges and asked to have a separate, an additional meeting to go over his findings and make recommendations for how council can move forward. Through his research, he found that moratoriums face legal challenges that cost municipalities money and end up with whatever is being brought as a moratorium, it gets developed through a court process anyway. And he wants to protect the city and make sure that our intentions are followed out as we want them to be. And with that in mind, he recommended that we develop a ordinance that defines and outlines the rationale of use for moratorium. His drafted language is in our packet here, and it was recommended that we move forward with that language on that count. As far as how we address the issue of data centers here in our community, he noted that moratoriums are generally used to evaluate the threat of health, safety, and wellness to the public. When we were presenting it as an option, it was to buy time for the law department to draft an ordinance. That was put forward as a recommendation, high level, based on the German Energy Efficiency Act, and we wanted to give the law department time to craft that. Again, Mr. Goldstein spent time to research kind of what is the best course of action moving forward, and recommends that as a first step, we make data centers a special use. That would require anyone who's looking to make a data center in Livonia have to come to council for a waiver and present, what their proposal is to us. So it was recommended by a committee member that that is the first step that we take in creating a special use ordinance for data centers. Both of those issues were put forward to go a referral to the Planning Commission directly so that they could evaluate it and we would save time. So it's my understanding that it's going directly to the Planning Commission for review. It would have a public hearing, then it would come to council, and then it would also have a public hearing before we vote on it. So we are acting as swiftly as we can on the issue of data centers, as we know that it is a concern for many in our community. As we learned more about the usage for moratoriums, it was determined that because there's already a special use requirement for gas stations and car washes in Livonia, at this time there's no specific direction we are seeking to take on that issue, and it remains in committee. So that is an abbreviated summary of what happened at that meeting.
Thank you. Any comments from council on that one? All right. Moving on to item number 15, or unfinished business. Item number 15, this is a waiver petition 2026. There wasn't a motion. Item number 15, this is a waiver petition 2026-03-02-11 submitted by Mason Rose Events, requesting waiver use approval to operate a banquet or event facility with occupancy of over 50 people at 37176 6 Mile Road, located at the northeast corner of Newburgh Road and 6 Mile Road in the southwest quarter of Section 8.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Persicone?
I'd like to offer an approving.
I'll support.
Motion by Persicone, support by McCullough. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience?
Madam Chair.
Ms.
Just as a
Budzinski?
point of clarification, I wasn't at the study, but I did watch it, so I know that at the time you guys had discussed requiring a licensed bartender and closing at 11 o'clock. Is that included in this motion, or do we need to make
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 15 passes 6-0. Moving on to item number 16, this is a proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinance as amended, petition 2026-03-03-01, submitted by 7 Mile in Farmington Venture LP, requesting to vacate the existing water main and scenic easements at 33500 7 Mile Road.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by McDonald. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Just a point of information, does this need a first read?
I believe
to
it does
clarify.
need a first read.
Motion for a first read.
There we go.
There.
I just wanted to see if Patrick would fall for it, and he did, and that's cool. I'm messing.
No. They moved down. Oh, yes, correct. First reading, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Who gave the first reading?
I
Budzinski? Okay, first reading by Budzinski.
Support.
Okay.
For that.
Thank you. Okay, any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Okay, moving on to item number 17. This is a roll call, proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended to section 040 of Title 13, Chapter 8, Water Services Rates and Revenues to provide for changes in the water service consumption rates to become effective with the first billing on or after July 1st, 2026. A first reading was given by Councilmember Brandon McCullough on June 1st, 2026.
Madam President, I'd be happy to offer a second read.
Support.
Okay, second read by McCullough, support by Persicone, and we just jump right into vote now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Madam Clerk, or actually, any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 17 passes 6-0. Item number 18, another roll call, proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended to section 050 of Title 13, Chapter 8, Water Service Rates and Revenues to provide changes in the water service consumption rates to become effective with the first billing on or after July 1st, 2026. And the first reading was given by Councilmember Martha Tashnik on June 1st, 2026.
Madam President,
Ms. Persicone?
I'd like to offer a second read and roll call vote.
Support.
Okay. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. And item number 18 passes 6-0. Sorry, I messed up on my numbers because we pulled item 15. Item number 19, roll call. This is a proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended to section 050 of Title 13, Chapter 28, Industrial Waste Surcharge to provide for changes in the industrial waste surcharge rate to become effective with the first billing on or after July 1st, 2026. A first reading was given by Councilmember Carrie Budzinski on June 1st, 2026.
I'd like to offer a second read.
Okay, second read by Budzinski.
Support.
Support by McDonald. Comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 19 passes 6-0. Item number 20, roll call, proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended to section 120 of Title 13, Chapter 20, Livonia Sewage Disposal System to provide for changes to the sewer disposal and maintenance rates to become effective with the first billing on or after July 1st, 2026. A first reading was given by Council Vice President Patrick Brockway on June 1st, 2026.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Brockway?
Offer a second read.
Okay.
Support.
Second read by Brockway, support by Budzinski. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 20 passes 6-0. Okay, last one. Item number 21, roll call. Proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended to Section 130 of Title 13, Chapter 20, Livonia Sewage Disposal System to provide for changes to the special rates for designated uses to become effective with the first billing on or after July 1st, 2026. A first reading was given by Councilmember Eileen McDonald on June 1st, 2026.
Madam Chair,
Ms. McDonald?
I'd like to offer a second reading, please.
Support.
Okay, second read by McDonald, support by McCullough. Comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 21 passes 6-0. Moving on to new business. This is a block party request. Item number 22, a block party request from Kelly Ambrosi to be held Saturday, July 11th, 2026 from 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Beatrice Street between Laurie and Barclay Streets. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Kelly Ambrosi. I live on Laurie Street in Livonia.
Okay, did you want to tell us a little bit about your party?
Yeah, it's just a small bit of road. It occupies 4 driveways. It's from yield sign to yield sign. One of those driveways is mine. Just a couple hours, 4 hours. It's for my 5-year-old's birthday party, and I just want to block off the road to keep it safe for kids. I have a really small backyard, so I kind of want to occupy the side of my yard that is along Beatrice.
Okay, thank you. And just so everyone's not confused, normally our block parties do go to the study first, but this came in after our last meeting, and it's happening before our next meeting. So that is why it is on the regular agenda for the first time. Council?
I'll offer an approving.
Support. Motion by McCullough, support by Budzinski. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Brzezinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. And item number 22 passes 6-0. Have a great party.
Thank you.
Mr. Brockway, would you like the gavel?
Sure. Okay, we have
Sorry,
item,
I have to say, it's a spree item. That's why I'm recusing myself.
item number 23, request to approve lease agreement, Livonia Anniversary Committee, Inc., in order to lease Ford Field Park for the purpose of hosting the Livonia Spree 76.
Good evening, Council. Kaylee Reed, 35922 Ladywood Street. I'm here on behalf of the Livonia Anniversary Committee. I'm the Executive Director of the Livonia Spree, and as I'm sure you're well aware, we open next Tuesday at 4 p.m. In the past, we have never had a lease agreement with the city, but in the past, we have also never seen the type of behavior that we are seeing at carnivals and festivals in the area. I'm sure you're all familiar with teen takeovers. So this type of lease agreement kind of gives the spree the grounds to ask people to leave. If they're misbehaving, it makes it a private event, so we can put our rules into place.
Excellent. Do I have anything for the council?
Yes, I'd like to offer a motion to approve.
Support.
Okay, we got motion by Budzinski, support by Persicone. Any other comments? Any public comments? Anyone from the audience? Oh, we got one. All right. Okay, please state your name and address for the record.
Christopher Martin.
You have
Free
2
State,
minutes.
Michigan. Thank you. Just a quick question here. Because we have this new entity now, if someone does get hurt there, does that eliminate suing the city, because this has now become a spin-off, a separate entity? So my question would be to Mr. Goldstein over there, okay? How that would occur. Somebody gets injured and this committee can file for bankruptcy and that's the end of it? Or does the city still be involved for anyone injured over there? That's my question.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes 5-0.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, we have item number 24, acceptance of quitclaim deed secured without monetary consideration from SOAV Homes Incorporated in order to obtain the necessary road right-of-way for parcel ID number 076-01-0072-004, Scone Court, in southeast quarter of Section 19.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
So I got motion by Reed, support by McCullough. Any other council comments? Any public comments? Okay. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald?
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye. Okay, and the motion passes 6-0. Okay, and that leads us to audience communication. If you have something to say and you haven't spoken at the beginning of the meeting, you have come up, say your name, address, and you got 3 minutes.
2 minutes. Oh, three. Sorry, hold on
3
one
minutes.
second.
I'm waiting.
I hit the wrong
I'm
button.
waiting.
Okay.
Jim Bigger, Livonia, Michigan. With regards to grants, I don't know how the proposed law enforcement grant was given for the party that's going on, but my experience with state and federal grants is both exclude the use of the funds being spent for alcohol. Alcohol is an excluded expense, and I hope that the city people who are running that, being the police chief and the mayor, are not using those funds for alcohol, because if they are, that is against federal law and state law, and both would be held accountable if they were ever audited by the federal government or the state, and the city would be not looking very good if that were to happen. With regard to the question earlier about the wonderful flag that's flying on Middlebelt, I wondered what happened to the old obscenity rules that used to be here. I know you can't talk about speech, but obscenity has not gone away. The obscenity rules in the state of Michigan still outweigh what freedom of speech allows. There's the 3-prong Miller test that's out there. One of them that says, does it lack serious value? The work, when considered as a whole, completely lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. That sign certainly does not give us any value. Patently offensive. Okay, some part of the population probably doesn't find it offensive. I know there's a lot of cars that say that word and are driving around. I find that offensive, but I guess a lot of other people don't. I mean, it's one thing to say it in the conversation, but to drive around on a vehicle or have it on a shirt, I find offensive. Appeals to Puritan interest. You know, when you apply your local standards, I mean, we don't run around saying those words. You certainly don't let everybody come in here saying George Carlin, the 7 things you can't say on television around here. We don't allow that. But if I go by what I heard that you can't stop free speech, seriously, that means I can come in here and start saying every one of those words, even though they may be offensive to some people. That's my free speech. I think you have to couch it by, maybe the city could send the person a letter saying, please remove your sign, your flag. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, saying that they've had a number of complaints. I think you could start doing something like that.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Jerry Karsinski, 19488 Bainbridge Avenue. There's been a lot of discussion about the renewal of the 2 city millages, public safety and senior services and cultural, and there's been a number of people that have felt that they would like to vote those items down and rely on the city to make up the revenue by spending money that perhaps would come from other funds. I think it would be important for the city to maybe have a session or 2 I certainly would offer to do that for anybody that has questions about the various funds the city has, how that money is used, what it's authorized for, and what it's authorized not to be for. So if we were to, for example, vote down the public safety millage, that would be a loss of approximately $10 million out of a $76 million general fund. What would we do to make up for the $10 million that's lost? What city services would we not fund for next year if we decided to prioritize public safety as we have for decades? I think this is a very important conversation that we should be having as a city with more specific examples than we can't fathom what would happen without it. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you very much. All right, please state your name and address for the record.
Frank McDermott, Rayburn, Livonia, Michigan. Recently, Channel 7 had a news story on about the temporary ramp built to improve accessibility for people with physical disabilities. It was mentioned that the city paid $20,000 for that temporary ramp. And also an assistant engineer mentioned that a permanent fix could be made for the problem for $6,000 to $8,000. So I'm a little confused here. I'd like a clarification from someone. Did we pay $20,000 for a temporary ramp when we could have had a permanent solution to the problem for $6,000 to $8,000? Or did the assistant engineer misspeak? I would appreciate somebody providing clarification on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please state your name and address for the record.
John Pastor, 33461 Capri Court. I also, too, want to remind people that absentee ballots are coming out here very shortly. I want to encourage people to vote in favor of the millage. And remember, the police, it's police and fire. Everybody, talks about the police, which is very important to me, but we also have to remember to not forget about the firemen that are out there. Also, secondly on that ballot is also a millage for the bus for SMART. And I would encourage a no vote on that because SMART, I don't even know if we can call it SMART because they have not done anything very smart from their inception. They have, 3% only comes from the bus riders, 3% revenue. 97% of the money is done by taxpayer. SMART is also in debt over $72 million in the hole in their pension fund. That's where it's going to be coming from us. And the average bus just has 3.8 riders. Remember, in Oakland County, they had a lot of broken promises. They had about 20 different routes that they promised that they didn't fulfill on. So I want to make sure that people are aware, until SMART can actually put something together that actually works for it, then I'm behind it. I have no problem with it. But right now, they are not doing their job. And remember, our millage for our bus system will still be there. So we're going to be paying for our bus system as well as SMART, and I don't think that that's very smart. The last thing, I'm excited, that spree's coming up. You go on the internet and you hear this poor gentleman saying that his band was taken off the agenda. And I said, you know what, he was there for a long time. I was just kind of concerned about that. But then when they started asking questions, they got rid of all the bands. They're all new bands there this year. So they're getting a new group of people and stuff. So, well, I thank him for the service that he has done for the spree, but I don't appreciate when he tries to turn it political. When he sits there and cries, poor me. They took me off the spree ban because I talk at city council meetings. We all know that's BS. Just remember one thing. It just has to be said. It doesn't have to be true. Or for it to be true, it just has to be said. And that's what that gentleman loves to do, is give only half a story. So I encourage everybody to go to spree, enjoy their time, vote yes with the police and fire millage, and no on the SMART. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much. Just go ahead and list your name and address for the record.
Sandra Raklinski, Vackery Lane, Livonia. In regards to the spree, and I understand there were some concerns with the teenagers, I was wondering if it would be a good idea to close the park like 9 9:30, the spree area. Then you clear everybody out of that area. And then the fireworks come on, what, 10:15? And it would eliminate that teenage hanging around in the spree area causing disruption. Something to consider. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any other comments from the audience? Okay. Councilor Budzinski?
Yes, just quickly, as we talked about our budget and the upcoming millage, I just want to let people know that my next coffee hour is July 11th, which I believe is before our next council meeting. Councilwoman Tashnik, who is the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee and works very closely with the administration on the upcoming budget, will be my guest. So we will be doing a deep dive of the budget, answering any questions that folks have. So please come. It's 11 a.m. at the Civic Center Library, and there'll be Looney's Baker Donuts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from council?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. We'll see you in about, what time you want?
At 8:20.
8:20. See you at 8:20.
McCullough.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and unborn.
Welcome back. This is the June 15th, 2026 study session of the Livonia City Council. This meeting sets the agenda for the 2044 regular meeting, which is a voting meeting that will take place on Monday, July 13th, where tonight's items will be officially voted on. We are just missing Councilwoman Tashnik tonight. We will start with our audience communication. The council has set aside 30 minutes for audience communication for items not on the agenda. Do we have any audience communication? Good evening, sir. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
Steve Kane, Coventry Gardens. I have walked through construction sites my entire life. I have built, remodeled, or renovated every home I have ever owned, 10 and counting. When my children were growing up, they often came with me to admire the framing, the mechanical systems going into a new build. Construction is not a hobby for me, it's a calling. In all those years, I followed one simple rule. If a site was posted no trespassing, or the door was locked, I stayed out. I never put myself or others in harm's way. That is why I was so surprised when allegations of trespassing and breaking and entering were leveled against me after I walked through the senior center construction site. At no time was a sign posted. I was never told, verbally or in writing, to stay out. This is what the sign should look like. This is on the Northville Downs project. Livonia didn't do that. If they had, I probably wouldn't be here today. Those allegations ultimately went nowhere. The breaking and entering claim disappeared. The trespassing charge was dismissed, yet the punishment remains. It is also worth noting that I was not alone when I walked through that site. Others were present. No reprimand was issued to anyone else. No police investigation, no facility ban except for me. The public record shows I was treated differently from anyone else who walked through the site. I have been issued a lifetime ban from the rec center and senior center, not for violence, not for misconduct, but because I have been an outspoken critic of the administration. A lifetime ban for speaking out. Before the ban, I played pickleball most days at the rec. I shared meals, laughter, and euchre with my peers at the senior center. For many of us at this stage of life, those connections are our lifeline, where we find friendship, purpose, and belonging. Those connections have been taken from me. I have no criminal record. Yet I am prohibited from accessing taxpayer-funded public facilities that I help support through my own tax dollars. The continued restriction serves no legitimate public purpose. It is punitive, unsupported by the facts, and inconsistent with basic principles of fairness and due process. I would also ask you to consider this. The city employees principally responsible for initiating and advocating this matter are no longer employed by the city of Livonia. This council should not be left enforcing the personal grievances of former staff members. The Livonia City Charter, Chapter 4, Section 13, grants this council oversight authority over these facilities. I am respectfully asking you to exercise that authority, to investigate this ban, and to lift it. I am not asking for special treatment. I'm asking for the same right every resident has, to walk through the doors of my community rec center and senior center without fear of retaliation for my speech. I gave a formal request to Sarah. I'm hoping you'll put it in the committee of the whole and bring it up and do the right thing.
Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. Talk a little bit about free speech. Big advocate of that. I've mentioned this numerous times in the past. Thing about free speech is that, matter of fact, George Carlin was brought up in his 7 words. And you can say every one of those 7 words right here. You can. And I remember seeing him years ago in the mid-'70s at the Royal Oak Music Theater, and he said them there. But you can say free speech right here. There was an opportunity here a couple of meetings ago. Gal didn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, that might offend some individuals. Okay, to me, I didn't really care for it, but I don't have any control over her. It's called free speech. She can do what she wants. A number of years ago, we actually had a councilman claimed to be a pretty religious guy. He wanted me to stand up for the prayer. There's no way I was going to stand up for no damn prayer. No way. It's a government building, and I told him that. This is not a temple. It's not a church. It's not a synagogue. It's nothing, okay, except a government building, okay, even though I was singled out for not standing up for a prayer. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in that stuff. But that doesn't stop me from, if somebody else wants to believe in that, that's fine. Go ahead. If that makes you a better person, go right ahead. Don't involve me in it, though. So anyway, that was basically what I wanted to talk about. Free speech, a flag or whatever being up. I came from a background working in factories, and I've seen a lot of stuff. And it really doesn't, that stuff just doesn't affect me one way or another, to be quite honest. And once again, that's what free speech is all about. It might be something that you don't like, but you shouldn't be able to necessarily stop somebody else from, that makes this country supposedly different from everyone else, is the ability to not participate or to express yourself in a different way than maybe what is people consider to be normal. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. Any other audience communication? All right, council. Oh, good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Greg Ralco, Golf Ridge Villa. Back in January of 2025, when the council voted no 5-2 to rezone the corner at 8 Mile in Newburgh, I went over to Farmington Hills and I talked to the legal department, and I got a copy of their new ordinance that they had just signed and put into place, limiting the number of new gas stations, new car washes, and auto service centers. In other words, if you wanted to open one in the city, you had to buy an existing one. I gave it to Carter, and I gave everyone a copy too. I said, you just voted no. You have obviously a concern. In that case, it was a rezoning concern, and the work's already been done for you from Farmington Hills. And the attorney would be willing to talk to Carter and understand what they went through in order to go ahead and implement the same thing. Recently in Warren, you may have read, the city council put an 8-month moratorium on car washes and gas stations. And the reason they had done that is that Sheetz opened. When they opened, they lowered their gas prices to a point where they had a mile traffic jam around the corner leading to Sheetz And the city of Warren said, what do? We put this in the wrong place. And so the moratorium is in place while they study the ordinance that they plan to put in place to limit what? Car washes and gas stations. And so the work would have been done, the work has been done. All you need to talk to is your fellow citizens in these other cities, their legal department, their law department, and their city council. But these documents are already written, the work has already been done. And I believe too, the charter, our charter, has a provision in there that does give the city council unadulterated right to limit the number of car washes, or not car washes, I'm sorry, gas stations. So you already have that power. And I would hope that our legal department would advise you accordingly. But it seems like you always stumble on this. And now, after the barn door has been left open, you're going to run in and try to put all these ordinances in and restrict what it is that you should have restricted before, and then try to take a whole lot of credit for being answering the call of the citizens when you really should have done this before. It's comical to do it now, and it's I think quite frankly shameful.
Thank you. Any other audience communication? Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
33461 Capri Court, John Pastor. Oh boy. We start restricting all the gas station, car washes. Why don't we restrict housing? Why don't we restrict party stores or drugstores or restaurants? Every case that comes before this council is a restriction. You guys have the power to approve anything and everything at any time that you want. So you don't need to do anything else. I just, it's you guys are fine for what you're doing. You got everything is done on a case-by-case basis, so I don't think you need to do anything. Regarding the flag that's on Middlebelt, go to the sign ordinance. Make it a sign. If it's a sign, businesses can't do that sign. We can't put signs on our lawns that are too big, for our council candidates and all that stuff. So maybe you can go look at it from that standpoint instead of free speech. And then for Mr. King, if he's supposedly this builder, this home builder, build all these jobs and all that stuff, then he knows better than to go on a construction site that's fenced off and all that stuff. He knows about OSHA, or he should know about OSHA. So please, when somebody sits there and does something wrong and then he comes up to you crying that he wants to get out of something that he did. You didn't, he did. He knew he was doing something wrong. So now he's paying for his consequences. So with that, last couple comments is vote yes for the police and fire millage, vote no on the SMART, and I thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience communication? Any comments from council? Ms. Persconi?
I just have one quick one. I thought I had something noted here. So with respect to the comments that were made regarding accessing the Housing Commission website, it is a limited user website because historically there's not that many visitors that visited that site. But in the last year or so, it has gotten a lot more traffic, which results in that error sign. So I do believe that it's a problem that can be fixed. So users aren't getting that error, and I'll be following up with the appropriate parties to see if we can make sure that when people log on, they can see the information that they need. It seems like it's a pretty simple fix, so I just wanted to give everyone an update. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from council? Ms. McDonald?
No. Thank you, President Reed. I just would like to bring up in reference to a comment that was made about the PDRA meeting last week that I was unable to attend, but I did attend the meeting the prior month. I looked up all authorities within a city, whether it be the PDRA, the Housing Commission, Parks and Rec. They have to follow all purchasing laws that are governed by the city of Livonia. So I would like all commissioners to take that in consideration when they're attending their meetings and to ask questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from council? All right, let's jump right into the agenda. Item number 1, this is a block party request from Allison Adams to be held Saturday, July 18th, 2026 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Flamingo Boulevard between Clarita Avenue and Pickford Street with a rain date of Saturday, August 1st, 2026. Is Ms. Adams here? Okay, council. Ms. Budzinski?
Just for the sake of consistency, when the petitioner isn't here, you generally put it on the regular with approving, denying.
Okay. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Okay, item number 1 will be on the regular agenda on July 13th, 2026. Item number 2, this is another block party request from Alex Quint to be held Saturday, August 15th, 2026 from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. between 9912 and 10,000 Fairfield Street with a rain date of Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Alex Quint, 11401 Fairfield.
Thank you. And would you like to tell us about your block party?
It's our 4th one. The last 3 have been a hit, and so it's usually from 4 to 9. We have music, food, bounce house. My wife is going to bring a foam guns or something. I don't know. So it should be fun. Keep the kids entertained for a while.
Sounds good. Council?
I'd like to offer an approving on consent.
Okay. Any other comments from council? We have an approving from Ms. Budzinski on the consent. Any comments from the audience? All right, this will be on the consent agenda on July 13th, 2026.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day. Item number 3, another block party request. This comes from Aaron King to be held Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Hampshire Road between 33204 Hampshire Road and 16126 Woodring Court.
Good evening, council members. I'm Madison. This is Aaron. We're from Wood Creek Farms, Livonia, right around the corner. And we're here to ask your permission to bring back the Wood Creek Farms block party. It'll be we have been kind of poked by some of our older members of the neighborhood. They talked about these wonderful block parties they used to have, and it got some of us young moms excited. So we want to bring it back, and we're hoping to learn from the past generation to connect the new generation with this block party.
Sounds fun. Council? Ms. Persconi?
I'm happy to offer an approving on consent.
Comments from council?
Do you know why is there a reason why it was stopped for many years? Is it like a huge, massive party that took down?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's a great question. I do think it was just sort of the shift of generation. So there were a bunch of kids 20 years ago who are all grown and have moved on, but their parents are still in the neighborhood, and everybody loves Wood Creek Farms. People leave and they come back. So now I'm a new mom there. I've been there 4 years, and it's such a beautiful place. So us in our circle, we are just like
new families.
Yeah,
So
there's
we
new
want to
families,
kind of
there's kids.
start.
That's super
So
cool.
we're trying to just
Congratulations.
connect
Good job for
everyone.
doing this, honestly.
Thank you. So we wish us luck.
Yeah,
Good
it's
luck.
gonna
You'll do
it's
great.
gonna be great.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Have fun, and you'll be on the consent agenda on July 13th, 2026.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep, you don't have to come back.
Oh, okay, cool. We're good.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you, council. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Item number 4, this is another block party request. This comes from Jasmine Wzorek to be held Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Rayburn Street between William Street and Levan Road with a rain date of Saturday, September 5th, 2026. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Jasmine Wzorek. My address is 36770 Rayburn, and it is my 2nd year hosting our block party. I want to say it might be close to the double digits that it's been going, but we're just looking to get together, cornhole, music, kid games, all that stuff.
Thank you. Council? Mr. Brockway?
Approving on consent.
Okay, any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? All right, this will be on the consent agenda on July 13th, 2026. Thank you. Item number 5, this is a request to extend waiver use approval to the new owner, Hyan Pai, in connection with petition 2019-04-02-07 in order to operate a massage establishment located on the west side of Middlebelt Road between Puritan Avenue and 6 Mile Road, 16345 Middlebelt, in the northeast quarter of Section 14. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Hyan Pai. As owner of Ocean Wellness for 7 years. I'm here for get approving for selling my business. For better understanding, and I brought my husband for help.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Doug Rands. The address is 16345 Middlebelt.
My wife has some major health problems. She's been hospitalized twice. Both surgeries went poorly, and she experienced multi-month recoveries, and she's facing yet another one. So she's been unable to be on site with the business like she needs to be. And it's time for her to sell the business and semi-retire. We approached the council, I'm certain it's in the minutes somewhere, months ago. We thought we had a buyer. The buyer was exceptionally inexperienced when it came down to closing the deal and was unwilling to. And so we put the business back on the market. We've had multiple interests in the local area, Novi and Farmington, but those owners, those prospects are inexperienced and unlicensed, and we're just not comfortable with them. There's also been multiple interests from out of state, and we're not interested in having absentee owners. So we found Ms. Shin Yu is here tonight with the translator Stephanie Mann. Stephanie's a professional translator and works in the court system. So she's going to assist Shin Yu. But we believe that they're fully qualified to take over the existing business, and that's why we're requesting the transfer of the current waiver to Continue Ocean Wellness.
Okay, thank you. Council?
Questions, comments?
Yep, Council? Ms. Budzinski?
Yes. Could you share about the qualifications for the new owner and staffing, kind of going over how?
I'll let her address that, but she does have a massage license. She lives in the community. She's worked as a therapist as well as managed a business, and I'll let her address her qualifications and staffing plans.
Thank you.
We hope that she will continue the current employees who are also in the business and supporting, or in the area and supporting their families. In one case, the woman is supporting a husband with dementia. So I'll let Shin Yu address that question.
Thank you. Ms. Persicone?
Yeah, I just said, how did you meet the proposed new tenant that you're looking, or I should say buyer? How did you, from working or?
It's a small community. So they have a discussion group online of owners. And so my wife listed the business, and I need to take care of my health. And rather than be an absentee owner, to see if there was interest in buying it. So again, we tried to focus on people that are local, legal, have families in the area, as opposed to the inexperienced, not in the area, absentee prospects.
Thank you. Any other questions for the current owner? Okay, so we'll ask our question to the prospective buyers.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Council and Council President. My name is Stephanie Mann. I've been hired to translate whatever being taught or what she would like to say. But I wonder if it's okay with you to say, in order to save everybody's time, that he agreed for me to read an open, very brief statement to introduce her.
Sure, yep, go ahead.
That'll be okay? Okay, so I'm a legal resident of Michigan, and I have lived here for 4 years. I have a therapeutic massage license issued by the state of Michigan, and have 10 years experience working as a masseuse or massage therapist, and a couple years as a business manager. I follow the laws, and my record is clean. That means I'm an upstanding resident. I wish to buy Ocean Wells from High-End Pie because it's an established business that has a very good reputation and in the community, and it's important to me to continue that tradition. And once I've been approved, hopefully that's the case of the transaction, I will hire workers that are legal residents and have a massage license and also live in the community. So buying Ocean Wells will let me make a better living for my families. Thank you.
Thank you. So Councilwoman Budzinski had a question, and I'll have her repeat it, please.
Yes, it was about your experience in owning a business. You know, the previous owner, if I'm not mistaken, owned another location in Livonia or was managing one. And then is your intention to maintain the current employees at the location? Or are you looking to change the current practices that are being done, you know? Are you looking to reimagine the business or maintain it as is as the new owner?
就是你成为一个新的主人了，这么时候呢，你会不会想要重新换一个地址啊？因为或者是搬到别的地方，或是重新来整修你的门面啊，或是有新的政策，还是说你会继续原来的？
继续原来。
I will continue whatever's existing in the business.
And do you have prior experience owning a business and for how long?
所以呢，你之前有没有拥有任何的一个像类似的这样的店？如果有的话，有多少年？
没有。
None.
Will you have will you have someone on site or how do you intend to address the translation? You know, you have a translator with you tonight. I would think it's safe to say most people in Livonia and even some of our surrounding communities don't speak. Again, not to speak inappropriate, I don't know what version of Chinese you're speaking. So I use the word broadly. I understand it's not correct. But what is your plan to address the language barrier to make sure that you can communicate with customers as they come in, but also if there's interaction with the city moving forward, what is the plan there?
这样子的，你是有什么计划呢？因为你不会讲中文，你不会讲英文，然后大部分的社区人都不会讲英文，不会讲中文，所以呢，那你要怎么样跟以后店里的客人交通，或者是跟以后这个市区政府他们建议需要跟你联络啊，跟你有一些谈话的时候，你要怎么应付了？
很简单的英语我还是会一些，简单按摩了这么多年，客人英语在按摩方面的客人啊，接待呀什么我都知道。
So okay, because of the several years of the massage business experiences, basic terms or daily conversation, that's okay. I can handle that. And
接电话呀这些都没问题。
And even to pick up phones, you know, to know what kind of massage they want, there's no problem with that.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Just one more question on the staffing. How many employees do you expect to have? Again, are you keeping the current staff? If you're hiring new staff, are you looking to just hire broadly? What would be your practice of bringing in new employees as there's turnover or things like that? Do you have family in the area that you'd be hiring to help and support, or using a staffing company? Or
这样子就是说，你对于你会想要说用现在原有的员工呢，还是说你还要继续招更多的员工，还是怎么样？或者对于员工他们，你就是要怎么样？就是说如果有人要走啊等等这些，你有没有什么新的原则啊？这样子交接啊？
我不招了，就按照原来的员工。
I don't think. So.
就是原来的员工。
Okay, so
有一个就行了。
Okay, I don't have any plan to hire more employees. I'm going to use the existing employee. I think that's enough.
Okay, thank you. Could I ask someone in the back row to shut that back door? We can hear the radio or whatever's going on back there. I think it's out there.
Yes, my apologies. And if you wouldn't mind repeating the response.
She said she plans to retain the staff.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We could not
Are you
really
going to be
hear.
speaking some more? Maybe if you speak into the microphone.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, any other questions from council?
还有没有什么其他的问题
Okay, Ms. McDonald?
Thank you. I was wondering, how many people are on staff currently employed by you?
目前这个店里有几个员工
？One.
Just one.
One plus yourself?
然后就加上你就2个。
Yeah.
Yeah, including me too. So.
Okay.
Any other questions? Ms. Persconi?
I just have one follow-up. We received a letter in our packet from a Sherry Lou. Who was that, and what was the purpose of that letter?
是我们收到一封信，从谢瑞如，这个是目的是什么？这一封信他是谁？或是为什么我们会收到这封信？我们等一下他也会来讲。
Hello again.
I think I'm best to address that. Sherry Lou is a real estate agent who was assisting the prior buyer in, she's been here multiple times before, in trying to close the deal the prior time. But she's a real estate agent, not experienced in what I would characterize as business transactions. And she was unable to work with the landlord and the insurance company in a way necessary to actually close the deal.
Got it. So that was from, you're the one that sent the email indicating that Sherry Lou's not part of this transaction.
Correct.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I didn't know where that came into play.
Yeah, Sherry was representing the prior buyer who had limited English skills as well.
And you are not working with this person for this transaction?
Sherry Lou is not involved in this at all.
Okay, thank you for that.
I asked Stephanie to participate, or I introduced Stephanie to Shin Yu simply because Stephanie works in the court system, translator, and is not what I would characterize as a business advisor. So I felt that was a better resource to involve than bringing Sherry back into this.
Thank you for that explanation. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Ms. Wiedzinski?
Hi. Thank you. And I know the owners presently have been before us and you know, best wishes with the health concerns. I know it's been really stressful. And with that in mind, I'd just like to give council more time to kind of look over things with an approving and denying for the regular.
Okay. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience on this item? Okay.
I'm sorry,
Ms. Persconi?
Would it be possible for the massage license and the qualifications of Ms. Shen to be provided to council to review? Because, you know, with respect to massage establishments in Livonia, we do tend to scrutinize them a little bit more. For the right reasons, because they're great establishments and we have great ones here in Livonia, and we take pride in that. So we just want to make sure we're maintaining that standard. So if we could please have information provided with respect to her credentials, her license, in particular her license, and perhaps maybe a list. It sounds like it's only going to be two. It sounds like it's only 2 employees right now, and it's going to just maintain to be 2 employees, but some sort of just breakdown of that information. That would be very helpful, so we can do what we need to do on our end.
How is she gonna send those information to you?
Is there a card over there for Sarah or any of us?
Council should have one.
Right on the dais.
Okay.
So our next meeting is July 13th, that this will be on the regular agenda for that. So you'll want to come back for that one.
Okay.
But if you could send this information beforehand so we can review it and add it to the agenda packet.
That sounds good.
She does have her license here if you'd like to take a look at it. Or
Okay, could you just send a copy so we have it for the record?
Send it to Sarah?
Send it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so this will be on the regular agenda on July 13th,
July
2026.
13th, come back at the same time, 7 o'clock?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay, moving on to item number 6. This is a request for consideration of a proposed ordinance amendment and to extend the existing pilot payment in lieu of taxes for Ziegler Place Senior Apartments. This comes from Stephen J. Reitman, Honigman LLP, to amend Chapter 3.12 Senior Citizens Housing Tax Exemption. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Scott Fry, Jonathan Rose Companies from Cleveland, Ohio, but here in Michigan often for our projects. So I represent Jonathan Rose Companies. We're founded in 1989 as a national developer of affordable and mixed income housing at Ziegler specifically. The original developer went out of business and we stepped in to preserve their entire 47 property portfolio. We have held Ziegler Place since 2017, and we're now putting together the resources for a comprehensive rehabilitation with low-income housing tax credits. So I lead the team at Rose that's dedicated to this type of work. We've completed several similar projects in Michigan recently. The construction will be handled by our in-house general contractor, Rose Community Builders, who has a headquarters here in Canton, Michigan. Ziegler Place, which I'm sure a lot of you know, was built in 1976. It is 153 apartments. Occupancy is restricted to low-income elderly residents. And our goal and the mission of Jonathan Rose Companies generally is to provide affordable rental housing and social services that allow seniors to age in place and maintain their independence. The scope of work that we've outlined with our architects and MISTA for Ziegler Place is $8.8 million in hard costs, beginning from the building envelope, including the roof, the facade, the windows, and sliding glass doors, mechanical systems, which are reaching the end of their useful lives, particularly HVAC, plumbing, appliances, and electrical and fire safety. Much of this work is geared toward energy conservation, which will reduce the property's impact on city infrastructure. Kitchens and bathrooms will be fully remodeled, including new cabinets, hard surface countertops. ADA accessibility will be added with the addition of 8 UFAS units. Amenity spaces will be upgraded and will include new offices, a fitness center, a community kitchen, and the addition of a full-time resident service coordinator who will office on site. The service coordinator will work to connect residents with local services, which, in addition to a full schedule of regular programming, includes things like helping residents sign up for Medicare, help with meals, housekeeping, arranging for traveling physicians to visit the property for medical screenings. It's an important resource and will be included in the property's operations. The project sources. A large first mortgage is difficult to size with restricted rents, so a pilot helps to keep expenses predictable and manageable throughout the life cycle of a project like Ziegler Place. And it allows us, importantly, to increase the size of the mortgage to do more work. The other source of funding are low-income housing tax credits, which are generated by our acquisition and rehabilitation expenditures and allocated. They're a federal subsidy allocated by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. So the impact of a pilot is twofold. It provides operational stability and is necessary for new financing. We're requesting continuation of the pilot